Louise Renfrew, the respondent, was a solicitor and the sole partner of her own firm, Renfrew Lawyers. She drafted a will for Mrs. Chambers on the 5th of May 2010 and signed it as a witness, but was unable to ascertain a second required witness. Following Mr. Chambers' death, Renfrew, acting in the application for probate of Mr. Chambers, made 5 payments from the trust account of Renfrew Lawyers to a business account. 2 years later, following the death of Mrs. Chambers, the respondent acted as an executor of the estate for Mrs. Chambers' daughter and witnessed the affidavit which contained false information. The respondent filed for a summons for probate in the Supreme Court with the aforementioned affidavit. However, a fellow practitioner, Mr. Brooke, pointed out the discrepancies between the version of the will with 1 witness signature and the will with 2 witness signatures. Renfrew subsequently assured him that the will was witnessed by 2 people, herself and Carleen Bond. The Council of the Law Society of New South Wales brought proceedings against Renfrew for the following grounds and ethical issues. Firstly, in regards to Section 255(1) of the Legal Profession Act, for failure to disburse trust funds in accordance with instructions. The unresolved contention regarding the first ground was due to Renfrew's contention that she had oral authority from Mrs. Chambers and that there was considerable complexity in interpreting Section 255. Furthermore, there was an uneasy fit with Section 255(1) and the Probate and Administration Act of 1989. The second ground involved the preparation of and serving as a witness for an affidavit she knew or ought to have known was false. The third ground also involved Renfrew misleading the Supreme Court through the application for a grant of probate, therefore violating 19.1 of the Australian Solicitors' Conduct Rules. Finally, the fourth ground constituted Renfrew having misled a fellow practitioner, which is in breach of Rule 22.1 of the Solicitors' Conduct Rules. In contrast to the first ground, these 3 grounds of professional misconduct and ethical failings were uncontested in court by the respondent. Finding for the 3 grounds resulted in Renfrew's contravention of the Uniform Rules as per Section 298(1), and thus was sufficient for the respondent to be found guilty of professional misconduct under Section 297 of the Legal Profession Uniform Law. The Tribunal's verdict of professional misconduct was met with orders for Renfrew to be reprimanded and prohibited from engaging in legal practice. The exception to Renfrew's prohibition is if she is employed and supervised under a solicitor with an unrestricted practicing certificate. Renfrew must also not apply for or be issued with a practicing certificate that authorises her to engage in legal practice other than when employed by a legal practice corporation or government authority. Additional minor orders were that Renfrew must pay the applicant's legal costs and pass educational courses in legal ethics and wills and probate.